Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolf, and I know there was a short audio segment at the beginning of this video. I wanted to try something out. I had this kind of idea that I could do like these introduction segment at the front and be like, oh, I'm watching the Wolf, everybody look, it's cool, like a commercial, but not that cool. Anyway, this is the Wolf, I'm casting game between... Why do you guys have to make hard names for me? I just looked at the chat box too. Pyrrhic and Euphoric. I'm gonna call you E, or the Terran player, and I'm gonna call you P, or the Protoss player. So this player, P, wanted to Pyrrhic, I guess. I really like to say the names. Let me know how to say them, and I'll definitely do it. He asked me to give him advice on this replay, and another one. Which would actually, this will be the 49th video I'll upload, you know, as a group, and the next one will be the 50th video, so sweet. That's good for you guys. He did tell me that there was a mistake at the beginning of this game, and I will point out to you guys, it's something very important that we all learn. This is a basic rule that you should definitely memorize. If you're harassing, you gotta make sure that the harassment you do doesn't take enough of your real APM to damage you more than what you're doing here. Now you see how he's really focused on his probe, and I know you know this, P, but I want to make sure that they know it. This is a really delayed warp gate. I've done it too. It happens to me. But and then you lose the probe anyway. You got to make sure that when you're harassing with any unit, especially workers at the beginning of the game, that the micro that it requires to use the units doesn't mess up your macro. Like I said, guys, macro is the big things and micro is little things. Their impact on the game is the same. Little rhyme for you guys. Yes, and Mr. Terran is going to go scout. I turned down the volume before I started the cast, although it was kind of high because my roommate has a hearing impediment apparently. I think I said that before. Maybe I didn't. I have tons of things I've said to you guys in casts. I'm like, you guys remember that video where I talked about this? You're like, no. And you know what? I got to do a Dalek voice because one of my friends on the SCA asked for it, and I definitely, it's not going to come out well at all, but you know, I wasn't born able to speak. I'll get better at it, and eventually I'll be like, all Terran players will speak like Daleks, and all Protoss players will speak like High Templar, and all Zerg players will sound like what do you guys think about that? That was good, huh? That was good. It was my Roach voice. Got 2 barracks going down for Mr. Terran player and the gas, so we could be expecting kind of a 2 racks play. I had probably forgot to mention that P is a silver player and his opponent here is a platinum player, so I think it's just, he sent me 2 replays as well, so I assume that this is just him playing with his friends for fun. Not very wise to lift off your barracks. This is actually kind of important, you never do that. So, Tech Lab going down and a reactor. We'd be seeing kind of an early push here, definitely weak to 2 gate. He denied the scouting. Higher level Protoss players, no offense to Silver League, make sure if barracks flies up, try to stay under it, slow it down. And when you see this going on, when these 2 things are being built, this is so weak to 2 gate. There is nothing he could do to it. There's not complete wall off. You come up here and you destroy that tech lab, suddenly he's making Marines out of 1 building. And then, you know, Zealots in your grill, bro. They're gonna kill you. Second gas going down too early, definitely no go. Also building up a bit too much chrono boost. Maybe not. It's not a macro fail if you save it for this, but it is definitely a scout fail. You should see that this is coming. This is very aggressive, seeing a barracks and then another barracks. I guess it's a little different for Protoss players because we go gateway cybernetics into gateway because that's the economic build, and he goes like barracks into barracks into barracks into ghosts into broodlords. We got peace harvesting of 10 minerals, very nice. Definitely see some bunker play here. Bunker play can be very deadly if executed well. And of course you have no knowledge if this is coming whatsoever, very bad. And of course when you spawn in positions like this, or like this, you need to make sure that your game, you can expect a more aggressive game. If it's like this, it can be also very air heavy, and if it's like this, you can usually go for longer macro games. So that's a little bit about Metalopolis. So got 3 SCVs here to take the damage versus 1 Stalker. Definitely, this is definitely a scout fail. I mean, this isn't doing any good here, and dang, there's a lot of things. I gotta sneeze, but most resist. Oh man, guys, I'm sorry. I can't get to the mute button in time. I tried to reach it. Anyway, a lot of mistakes. Biggest ones were you were being hit by 2-gate, you need to scout, or 2 racks, you need to scout that. You can't miss it. Another thing is, if you see that, then this is a good idea, but it needed to be your first priority. You got to stalk her out. It should have been a sentry. So I know he could have came in with a Reaper, whatever. Remember, guys, when you're fighting Reapers, getting a Zealot first is actually kind of effective against them because having it, shoot down the Zealot takes forever versus having it shoot down probes. And so just having the Zealot follow it around actually buys a lot of time. You would probably be able to fight this off pretty well, except for now he's got a barracks there. So this is very big. Not to say that I would be able to deal with this barracks in my base very well. I wouldn't be able to deal with it at this point in the game. But in any game, if you let a barracks go down, then you're probably sorry guys, if you let a bunker go down against a Terran player, you will die. There's nothing you can do against such a strong, hardy defensive building like that. So take down the pylon. Bad pylon placement is also very key here. You do have an Immortal coming out, and he's got a lot of Marauders, but of course at this point in the game, he's definitely very dead. I mean, even if he cut a shit ton of SCVs, he's got mules. I know, mules are overpowered, whatevs. And of course he's got Marines, so you are very dead, in case you didn't know. And that would be my advice. This is primarily, your macro was okay, but one, you scout failed. You have to know what your opponent's doing, especially at Protoss, since our tech tree is so separated. 2, your probes. You lost 2 probes at the beginning of the game. That is very, very bad. Losing a probe is bad. Losing 2, very, very bad. It was 3. I had 3. Poor pylon placement. It's not 3, but I'm just going to put it in there. Poor pylon placement, very important here. You need to make sure that, A, your buildings aren't close to the ramp. You don't want to have the army come up here and shoot down the buildings and, be able to scan and shoot them. You want them over here or up here, but not anywhere in this vicinity. You also want it so that sentries don't have buildings in the way if they need a force field. I'm holding up 3 still. And Zealots can get a concave when they move up the ramp. And poor pylon placement. I mean, make sure, especially at the beginning of the game, if you have poor pylon placement, a well-timed 2 racks Marauder push will take out that pylon and you'll be dead. And there's nothing to that. So I think it was mostly scout fail. But the easiest way to hold this off, the moment you see this happening, 2 racks, if it's going to transition to 3 racks, you'll probably need a sentry to protect yourself anyway. And so, God, look at this. 4 built up. So, if you're in a similar position, just make sure the first thing you get is a sentry. And the other thing is, if you see aggression coming your way, then there's certain things in your build you need to cut as well, because he cut SCVs to get here. He's only got this many SCVs. He's only got 1 gas. He's freaking queuing up. Great job, bitch. Sorry, freaking out here. The second gas wasn't necessary. You can see 100 buildup of gas. And although you are a silver player versus a platinum player, I don't really blame you for that. But if you see something aggressive like a 2-gate, 10 pool, 2 racks going down, about to attack you quick, make sure you don't build this until after you build another one of these, if you can help it. If you've already built it, then that's it. You might want to skip warp gate research, although it is only 50-50, so it's a hard choice to make. Usually I'd go for it, but if you need the resources now to get a sentry, you need the sentry now. It's not like the warp gate's going to help you in a minute from now. And then the gas. It's at this point in the game before Seashell, well, Seashell, it's probably not been done that long, and before Stim, this isn't that dangerous. Just if your buildings were back here and you let them move up the ramp, and then you got a concave with just Zealots, it would have been just fine. So, and then if you had 1 sentry, force field that bitch in and just go slicey. No help at the end of the cast. It's kind of late. I also have a headache, so I just ate bread today. I'm kind of still rattling on, and I forgot to do the Dalek voice. I promise to do it in my next game. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching my cast, and I appreciate your views.